Hi guys, so I'm going to quickly update you all on how Harleigh's getting on. She is now 5 months old. She turned 5 months on the 2nd of September. Today is the 15th of September, so again a little bit late, but nothing really much has changed in this past month. There has been a few sort of health things that have changed in the last month that I'm going to update you all on. She's literally just woken up. So stats wise, we had her weighed on the 1st of September. She was 13 pounds 5 ounces, and she had her length taken then as well, because this was all done at the hospital, and I'll get into more of that in a second. Her head circumference, I think is still, her head circumference was around 40 and a half to 41 centimetres, and her length is 59.7 centimetres, which puts her on the 2nd centile for her length, so she is absolutely tiny. 1 second, I will come back and get Harleigh.
Wearing a cute little t-shirt today. Say
Hi. Hi. Chup, chup, chup. Chup, chup, chup. She is still 100% breastfed. That hasn't changed at all since the last update. Do you want this? Would you like that? I know. You've just woken up. She's just started doing this. She'll lean back into me and like snuggle into me, which is so cute. But yeah, so breastfeeding, weight, length, head circumference. She is still in size 3 nappies. She's still doing, she hasn't technically learnt anything new. She has just maintained and sort of improved what she can do already. So rolling, obviously all the time, continuously. Head support is absolutely fantastic. She now has a jumperoo, you might be able to see that in the background, and a Fisher-Price sort of sit-up seat thing, which she really enjoys. She can bounce herself in the jumperoo, and that took her like a couple of days to like crack, and now she can do it all the time. She holds herself up really well, like tummy time is fine now, and she wants to sit up. Like whenever you go to get her out of her car seat or something, she'll lunge forward like she wants to sit up. So I'm guessing if you like gave her support, she could probably sort of sit like the beginnings of sitting unassisted now, so that's really good. She is suffering from cradle cap. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see like on her head, but we are using coconut oil and brushing her hair with her special brush, and also the Dentinox shampoo. So we are using a mixture of things to try and conquer that, aren't we? It was worse than this, but obviously it's getting better now. We're using the coconut oil, and I picked that up for like £2 something from a small pot from Holland & Barrett. What else is there? We are officially starting solids when she turns 6 months old. We have just got to get her high chair. I know the one that I want to get. It's a Casato one like I had for the boys. And what else, darling? Sleeping, she still sleeps through the night, as she's always done. Once or twice, rarely, she might get up, you know, before, you know, sort of 6:30. Hello. She usually wakes up about 6:30 for a feed. Don't you? Do you wake up 6:30? And then we don't really have like a set bedtime. She'll sleep downstairs in her bouncer with us, and she sort of goes in and out of sleep. She'll have like little naps and wake up, and then she usually is asleep when we go up to bed, which is around sort of 10:30, 11. So she's usually like asleep then. We'll change her bum depending on how she is, how tired she is, we'll change her bum, won't we? Change her bum, and then I sometimes do like a dream feed. Yes, I do. You listening? Sometimes do a dream feed, and then she will sleep through the night absolutely fine. Nap time, if we're, like I said previously in my last month's update, if she's in the car or if she's in the pram, she sleeps fine. It's only if we're indoors I struggle to get her off to sleep, but nothing that a quick feed and things won't. What are you doing? You're bubbly. Bubbly, bubbly. She's really starting to recognise faces now. So if she doesn't know someone, she knows straight away if it's not someone that she's familiar with. She does have like sort of the beginnings of this sort of, not separation anxiety as such, but just if she's with someone new that she doesn't know, she kind of like stares at them for a long time and then she might just randomly burst into tears. So, but for the most part, she's still this happy, content little baby. She is the best thing ever. The best thing ever. Yeah. She absolutely loves her brothers. They make her laugh so much. It's so hilarious. I'm going to try and add a video in of them making you laugh, especially Freddie. Freddie has got a very good bond with you, doesn't he? Doesn't your brother have a good bond? So the main reason, the main difference this month, isn't it? Hi. Oh, excuse you. Right, so basically from the minute she was born, she has not ever had a regular, she never has had regular bowel movements. I have been to my GP, I've seen 2 different GPs, and I've seen countless health visitors who all assured me that since I was breastfeeding, and don't get me wrong, this is true, that since I was breastfeeding, that the body absorbs majority of the breast milk, and there's not much output, so there's not much, you know, there's not much poo to get rid of. So, you know, the fact that she wasn't going very often wasn't a big, you know, it wasn't a big issue. The difference with Harleigh is that when before she does go, she gets extremely fussy and cries quite a bit, and she just is obviously noticeably uncomfortable. We had a hospital stay back in June, like one random day where she just basically cried the entire day. And this is not just, when I say cry, this is like a full-on scream. She was in a lot of distress. She seemed in obvious pain. We took her into the hospital. We actually had to stay in overnight. We had bloods done. It was quite traumatic, really, seeing as none of my children have ever needed to go into hospital before. Like, you know, Freddie cut his forehead open and he had to have glue stitches, but that's the extent of like hospitals sort of things. So I'm going to pop her down just next to me here, aren't I? And I might give you a toy. What toy would you like? Here you go. So yeah, that was the extent of like our hospital stays. So we had a consultant check her over from head to toe, you know, did the bloods. Nothing came back on the bloods. And all he diagnosed from the head to toe like check over was he noticed that her bum hole, her anus was too small, the actual hole. She's just so content down here, aren't you? Happy girl. So yeah, he noticed that her anus was too small and he wanted to see her again. When was this? When did he see her? The 1st of September. He wanted to see her the 1st of September in his clinic to sort of see like a follow-up appointment just to see how she was. Hope you can hear this. So we went into that appointment and straight away he looked at her bum again and said yes, it is small, and he wanted to have us referred to a paediatric surgeon who sort of deals with this situation, and we actually went for that appointment this Wednesday, sorry. And from that appointment, she had straight away he said that her anus is too small, but the anal passage, like the colon, I think, you know, I might be saying this wrong, but it is, you know, I'm not really a professional in this type of thing, but from what I can base this off of, he put like a metal rod, which is meant to like sort of enlarge, like a dilator type thing. Put that in her bum, and that is generally meant to make them go to the toilet. Like anything going in is meant to make them like go to the toilet, which it didn't. And this sort of like flagged up, you know, some red flags basically. And now, as of right now, he wants us to go up to King's in London and have a rectal biopsy done at King's College Hospital in London. So basically they want to do this rectal biopsy because they want to rule out Hirschsprung's disease. So we were told not to Google it, but I've actually been on like an official Hirschsprung's website just to get some like information in regards to like what it is, what we should prepare ourselves for. He did say in the appointment sort of what would like happen. We'll have to be in King's all day. There is a risk of bleeding. If she does have Hirschsprung's disease, she will, you know, she will need surgery. And each child has a different severity level. So, and it, you know, how much of her intestines, like her colon, that type of thing is affected. Like they don't know. They're looking for something called ganglion cells. But it's all very complicated for someone that hasn't ever had any experience with hospitals or anything like genetically wrong or, you know, anything like that. It sort of comes a bit of like a shock, and you know, you don't really know what to expect. We came away from the appointment a bit sort of shocked because we had prepared ourselves knowing that her bumhole was too small, so we just assumed that they might be like talking about dilating it, like something maybe like a, I don't know, like a procedure to like enlarge her bumhole to make it easier for her to poo. But the fact that I should mention as well that when we went to see the paediatric surgeon on Wednesday, at this stage she hadn't pooed in 5 days. She goes anywhere between 4 to 7 days without having a poo. That's just her normal, and it always has been. When she does eventually go, her poo is always runny. There are never any lumps. It's never mucousy, bloody or anything like that. And her stomach's never hard. She's not a sicky baby. And there's never like, she's never sick any like bile or blood or anything like that. So it is worrying, and it is kind of like, oh God. But we've been told that the procedure, she will be awake for it. They want to take, basically, how, in my mind, this is probably like completely different to what actually happens, but in my mind it's like a smear test where they put something inside and they sort of scrape away at like the lining to get like some cells, and that's, they send that off to like, and they're checking for the ganglion cells, and I'm not sure whether they have to be present or not present for her to have Hirschsprung's. I'm not sure, but I know it's ganglion cells and something to do with that. But you know, for me, when you get told something might potentially be wrong, I was nodding and I was asking questions, but in another way I was sort of like just numb and blocking out everything. So it's kind of difficult to sort of, at the moment I don't think it's really sunk in. I don't think she does have Hirschsprung's disease, but there is always that, like, that potential. I have recently found out that my cousin actually did suffer from that. It's more commonly present in boys, but obviously that doesn't mean to say that it doesn't happen to girls. And obviously my other 2 children, my 2 boys, they haven't got any of this issues. And my siblings, their children haven't got any of this either. So it is a bit, you know, it is a bit sad that this is what she's going to have to go through, but I would rather her go through this to rule it out completely, so that we don't have any issues further on down the line. And we also have to get, we also have to get the go-ahead from the consultant about starting solids, because at the moment, obviously, where she's solely on breast milk and she's obviously not pooing efficiently with breast milk, I don't want to start her on solids and sort of irritate her gut any more so than it is. So that is basically it. I'm going to stop there. I've probably rambled on for enough, but obviously this was quite an important update for us this month, and I wanted to obviously document what we're going to be going through. If anyone else, any of my followers, have any knowledge of Hirschsprung's disease, are going through it, have recently been diagnosed, have had someone that's got Hirschsprung's disease, then please contact me and let me know. Knowledge is power in my opinion. Regardless of whether she has it or not, I would rather know. Like, if any of you have also had children, or yourself, or know someone that's had a rectal biopsy, then obviously let me know on that as well. That would be really helpful. And yeah, I update like every single day on my Instagram feed. That is Gemma_Vaughan 2003. I'll leave the link in the description. And yeah, that's basically it. We will say goodbye, won't we? Won't we? And we'll see you all for month 6. Can you believe she's going to be 6 months? How can you be 6 months?